Hold on, hold on. This might be useless, you say. Put out your hand, I'll show you useless.
For $4?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's amazing.
For $4 just to do some desk maintenance?
I mean,
it's more clutter on
a cloth is probably better. You have chosen unwisely.
I'm trying to choose for the fun, man. Come on. Yes.
No, choose to win. You gotta win. I don't know what we're competing for, but definitely bragging rights. Okay, what is this? This is apparently a 7-in-1 cleaner. Let's see if, without instructions, which is good because it doesn't come with any, we can figure out what all 7 cleaning functions are. Soft bristle brush, actually not bad. You need to shave.
Or use one of those brushes.
Keycap puller.
Key puller. That's surprising to be in there, but okay.
Tampon. We've got a little rubber pick.
That might actually be really useful.
A little brush that is so close to this that
Does that count as one? Is that one of the tools?
I bet they think this is 2.
That's unfortunate.
Hey, I got another spray bottle.
Now you must come with me. What a waste of good suffering. Ah! You summoned me. I came.
Yeah.
I'll tear your soul apart.
Silau amat itu atap. Astaga, nggak kelihatan sama sekali.
I'll tear your soul apart.
Berapa itu ya? Makasih. Maaf ya.
And I think this is probably also one.
That like a lint.
Yeah.
A lint brush. You know what? I'm gonna use only this for the laptop.
How much was that one?
$12.
So you can get 3 of these.
No, I think I'll have this.
Wow, it's an enthusiastic little tool.
It's not the first time I've been called that. Oh shoot! Did I just say I was gonna use only this?
Yep. What was that sound?
Did you break it?
It's broken. It might be fixable, but like.
Battery goes.
Cool. Well, I'm getting started.
It's literally just broken.
It had problems with like rechargeable batteries and actually dropped too much already. Which is pretty bad.
No, it made like a grinding noise.
Yeah.
I turned it on, it went.
All right, let's go. Clean laptop. Did anyone get a screwdriver as part of any of their cleaning supplies?
Nope. That would have been pretty OP. LTT screwdriver on lttstore.com. You can also buy water bottles, which could hold liquid, which is a very big benefit in this challenge.
Thanks for that. Ooh, that's a really fine mist. I like that. I don't have a cloth. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna have a cloth.
Well, now he's cheating.
No, mine didn't have a cloth. That's
Yeah,
not
but
fair.
you're cheating.
That's not fair.
Imagine getting a 7-tool kit without a cloth. Imagine buying a $4 vacuum and it works precisely 2 times. Ah!
Oh, fixed it.
I mean, it's useless now.
Wait, it takes AA batteries? Those batteries are worth like 10 times more than that vacuum. Yeah, I'm sure it didn't.
Wow, a little bit extra. Yeah, I got a mask on. I don't want to get you sick.
Really? Really? Whoa, really? That is actually working. This is my side that hasn't been cleaned. Here's Luke's side.
Actually, yeah.
That legitimately
I mean,
did a pretty okay job.
It doesn't get into anything.
Yeah, anything would have.
Yeah.
Like, here's my little brush from this thing. Looks just as good, but
It did technically do a job.
yes, it was not as useless as you made it sound. You were officially mean to it. You know what? I've got all these
What a waste of good suffering. I'll tear your soul apart.
When it comes to making sure your photography is the best it can possibly be, it's massively important that the colour, contrast and brightness of the display you're using is spot on. But even when you think you've done everything right and you're still not happy with the results, especially when printing for yourself or sending to a lab, there is some good news. It might just be that you're using the wrong cable to connect your display to your computer. Okay, so recently I got to spend some time with Dr. Chris Bai, a world-leading authority on colour, who is also the Vice Chair of the ICC, the International Colour Consortium, Chair of the Display Working Group at the ICC, and also the Senior Colour Expert and Manager of the Colour Technology Lab at BenQ, the folks who make the displays that I use and have relied on for years. Now, we chatted a lot about colour, calibration, printing and future technology, and it was completely fascinating. But one thing he said that blew me away was about using HDMI cables to connect your display and your computer, and how that can have a big impact on your images. So I'm going to show you that part of our chat that I filmed, which is only about 5 minutes, and then afterwards I want to show and explain something for checking that your display is calibrated correctly. So here's the chat, but make sure to stick around for what I show afterwards. Something that really surprised me, and I asked you not to explain it off camera to save it, was the way we connect our displays to our computers. Because when we get a BenQ display, we get numerous cables that we can then use to connect it.
Right.
One of them is a HDMI.
Yes.
And you seem to, hey, don't use HDMI. So I know you said there's a long answer for this.
Right.
But what would be your kind of like abbreviated response to say, look, don't use a HDMI cable when you're connecting your computer and your display?
Okay. In HDMI, there are actually two color formats in the HDMI. I would just say one is called full range, one is called limited range. Full range, as in RGB terms, is like 0 to 255, right? In 8-bits terms, right? Yeah. 0 to 255, that's full range. So that is okay. And that's what we wanted, right? We want the RGB to be like 0 to 255. We want everything like that, right? So full range is okay. But limited range is, they call 16 to 235. So what you're missing is actually 0 to 15 it looks like exactly like 16. And 236 to 255 is cut off. It's looking like 235. Okay, so this is called limited range. And this is done by, the reason was before the transmission, like saving for the bandwidth. Okay, this was going back to the old days at the television, and also the bandwidth was not that broad before, so they need to save some bandwidth, to save some data. Okay, in this case, they just cut off the first bit and the last few little bit. So in this case, it can also increase the contrast. So in the television, right, it looks better because you want more contrast out of your picture, right? Deeper blacks and like more saturated colors. That's what you wanted on the television, right? That makes more sense on television. So the default color format on HDMI is the limited range. It's not the full range.
Wow.
Okay. So not a lot of people know about this. Okay. And then
More do now.
Right, right. I hope so. Okay, but if you do a calibration using a limited range on the monitor, what will happen?
Well, as far as I would see it, that you're not getting a true representation of the colours. So if you're trying to print, you're never going to get a print-to-screen match because your screen's not even calibrated correctly.
Exactly. And the thing is, because the calibration software will think the input signal are full range, right? Not limited range, but in fact they're giving limited range. So it will try to compensate for those missing values. So it will try to like generate those values it doesn't know. So give it like rubbish filling there. So your gamma curve will look really bad in that case. So you might get a really greenish like gamma curve, like grayscale. It might look greenish, it might look yellowish or reddish. We don't know. Okay, it really depends on the algorithm.
So the difference could really be noticeable.
Yeah, so your calibration report will actually show that you failed the calibration. Okay, and you don't know why. Okay, I did a calibration, like I warm up the monitors really fine. Okay, I follow everything, and everything checks out. I'm just using HDMI. Okay, but calibration failed. Okay, it's your monitor's fault. No, it's not our monitors. Our monitors are fine. It's the calibration. It's the cable. It's the HDMI cable.
So that obviously begs the question then, what would you say would be the best way to connect?
Right. The best way to connect nowadays, I would say probably USB-C cable or DisplayPort cable, DP cable. These two will be the best choice. These two gives out the best color formats for the calibration.
That is so. When you explain it that way of how much of a difference it can make, you think, why don't we know this?
Yes.
Why isn't that public knowledge?
Well,
it's just crazy.
people never actually really think about it, and actually, when they actually encounter a failed calibration report, they just pick up the phone and call us and say, your monitor is broken. They never think about it's the HDMI fault.
Wow. Okay.
So you would have heard there that Dr. Chris Bai mentioned about getting a failed display calibration. Now, not a lot of people do the validation after they've calibrated their display, but it is a really important part of the process. When I calibrate my BenQ displays using BenQ's Palette Master Element software, the validation is here at the end of the process. Now, there are two numbers that you need to pay particular attention to. This symbol means delta E and basically gives you an idea of how your display is performing. A delta E number of 2 or less is fantastic, and a delta E of 5 or less is really good. The validation process takes just a few moments, and you can see here that my display has passed with flying colours. If you use other software to calibrate your display, such as Calibrite, then you can also perform a validation at the end. Now, the display I use for editing my images is the BenQ SW321C, and like all BenQ displays, this is a hardware calibrated display, meaning that the profile created is held on a chip within the display, which is something else that ensures accuracy of colour, contrast and brightness. Now there is a lot more that Dr. Chris By and I talked about, and I will be sharing that in future videos. But I am really excited about the big